Hafade, Ali, Rananim, Kasalele, Lengwo, Yakwe, and Mogathin, and welcome to another episode of the One Micronesia Podcast. In this episode, we feature a ceremony and interviews that was held on August 14th down at Jeff's Pirates Cove.
So that we can recognize Jeff Pleadwell and his crew for all of the life-saving work and rescue work that they've done here.
This ceremony was held to honor and present legislative resolutions to 6 individuals who have dedicated their lives to helping and saving those who encounter troubles in the waters of Togcha Channel and along Jeff's Beach. The 6 individuals are Douglas Phillip from Chuuk, Lornis Rain from Chuuk, Titus Cowell from Chuuk, Winterhead from Ponape, Hanson Lowe from Ponape, and Jeff Pleadwell, the owner of Jeff's Pirates Cove. Now, after the ceremony, I got a chance to sit down with Douglas, Lornis, Titus, and Jeff to get to know them and get to know their stories. All right, welcome to the One Micronesia Podcast. Now, we're going to get to know the other awesome members of the Jeff's rescue team. But first up, we have here, we're going to talk to Douglas Phillip, and he's going to tell us more about him. Douglas, first things first, I want to say congratulations on the award. Job well done. I want to get to know you just a little bit, Douglas. Tell us where you're from and how you first moved to Guam.
My name is Douglas Phillip. I'm from region of Murloc in Chuuk. I moved to Guam 1995 for school, but I never went to school. I just ended up working in my life. That's exactly what I did. I met Sarah Pleadwell. I have 2 kids, and I kept working.
Oh, wow.
From there.
So you said, what year was that you said you moved to Guam?
95.
1995. And you said you were going to go to school, right?
Yeah.
Because back in the day, from what I heard from my uncles, when they moved to the States, is school first, right? Because that's what you go for. So you were, what were you aiming to study when you were?
I was aiming for, study law,
something like that. And then just, because sometimes things don't always pan out the way it's supposed to be. So you went you started working here at Jeff's Pirates first?
I started working here at Jeff's Pirates Cove 2011 or 2002, and until now. So when you first started here at Jeff's, what did you do first? What was your position? I just, clean the beach, clean around the area, and from there, Jeff moved me to the bar, and I stayed there until now. So, the really unique thing about the team that Jeff's put together is you guys didn't start as certified lifeguards, or you guys were normal workers at restaurants where either you did the tables, like you said, you were in the bar or in the back of the kitchen, but all that panned out to be something that's great and it saved lives. So let's talk about the first time you started working with Jeff was rescuing people. When I first started work here, my first rescue were 2 Japanese. I saved one, and one was gone. I used kayak that time. And from there, just keep adding up, many people in the channel, just kite porters, fishermen. And then 2012, I rescued those 2 National Guard from Oklahoma Air Force. 2016, I got my certification for the SAR, Search and Rescue National. Wow. And 2000, what was that? I went with my cousin Titus I want him to be certified also with that training in the fire department. KUAM Fire Department, and I'm happy that he got his own, and I'm trying to make these guys get their own too. So pretty much you were one of the first to say the first on the team, right? Mm-hmm. So after that you slowly brought the boys onto it, and it's one of the things that Clint said, the coolest things about this is that we're all from the islands where we love the water, where it's a part of us. So to come here to Guam and to
literally give back in that way, and especially in rescuing lives, like that's a big thing. And like I said, thank you. And like the awards that you guys got today, it's well deserved. And I hope everybody else should know your stories, and especially for our Micronesian community here in Guam to also know that you guys are doing your part. You guys aren't just here just working to get money. You guys are actually giving back by rescuing and saving lives. So that's an awesome thing. So thank you again.
Thank you
for all that
very
you
much.
guys are doing, and continue to do awesome job. So
We will continue to.
So just in closing, for you, what would be a message you want to tell our FSM community?
Just do all the positive stuff. Good for Guam. Help people, take care of each other, help the community. And that's all I can say to all my fellow FSM citizens. Just do your job, do your part, and help people.
Okay, all right. Well, Douglas, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast with me. And like I said, continue to do the awesome things that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, Hofity guys, and we're back. We're getting to know the awesome team that Jeff's put together here at the Jeff's Pirates Cove. They call themselves the Jeff's Rescue Team. Next up here, we're going to talk to Lornis Rain. So Lornis, I first things first, I want to say congratulations on the award from the government. I think it's well deserved for what you guys do here on a day-to-day basis. So let's start with you. We want to get to know you just a little bit. So when did you first move to Guam?
I moved to Guam in 1995. That's when I came here. So when I first came here, it's kind of hard because this new to Guam. So
when you came to Guam, were you coming to work, or you
Yes.
You
Yes.
came to work, not for school, just for work?
supposed to be for school, but I have to work first.
Right. Uh-huh. And I think that's the thing. I think we've seen a lot of Micronesians do that. Like everybody, when they leave the islands, either they come for work or school, but it's always for school, right?
Yeah.
So every time we come out here, and then we face the difficulties of having to work to have money, and then go to school, and then sometimes school kind of becomes that thing where we kind of have to get back to it. But then we
right.
get busy with work and everything. So when did you what did you do first? Was Jeff's Pirate Cove the first place for you to work, or did you work somewhere else?
I first as a security guard, flash security guard.
Oh wow.
So like from 95 to 98, mid 98, that's when I changed my work I work at the Alpine Beach Club. So from there, from 98 to last year, 2019, or 2000, I think 2019 or 18. That's when I changed from Alpine Beach Club to Chefs. I only worked here for like a year.
So when you first started here, what was your position?
My position here is like a security guard. Security, I just take care of the parking lot and whatever, how to for the skin,
the premises.
Yeah.
That's good. And then when did you first start? When was your first rescue? For to say when
My first rescue here was just recently. When was that? A few months ago, when we were rescuing the kiteboarder out there. That was my first rescue. Yeah.
How was that that feeling to know that you saw somebody out there, he needed help, and then you were we had to wait for the cops. Obviously, I'm pretty sure GFD was being called, but you took into your hands to get out there, even though it was dangerous, it might putting your life in danger, but to save somebody's life. How does that feel?
Well, if you see somebody out there needs help, you cannot wait. You just want to go out there and help that person, because sometimes if you wait, it's gonna be too late sometimes. I just want to help people. From my experience when I was working at APC, helping people is the first priority. My first job here, just back home. Just back home. Helping each other, small island.
Mm-hmm, right.
We know each other. We like to help each other out. If you need something, you ask somebody.
Right. Uh-huh. And you see somebody who's in trouble, you help them.
Yes. You see somebody in trouble, you help them.
What message would you have for FSM citizens here on Guam who are listening and watching the podcast? Like, what would you tell them to encourage them to help others?
Well, just help them. If you see somebody need help them. Ask if you can help them. If you cannot, just call somebody else.
Titus? So, Titus, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast here. We just want to get to know you. So tell us more about you. When did you first move to Guam?
I moved to Guam in 2005. I came here to work for Jeff, to work as a lifeguard security when Jeffs still take the tourists from Japan, the PMT, PMT tourists. That's why I came here to work for Jeff for the.
So, and you say you're from the Mortlocks, right?
Yeah, I'm from Mort.
So when you moved from Chuck, this is the first job you got, right?
Yeah.
And then you've been working here since.
I just moved to here then, and work here for Jeff. I work as a maintenance.
Okay.
Include like a lifeguard to watch the tourists when they swim or do some activities in the ocean.
Jeff, thank you so much for agreeing to jump on the podcast with me here. I've had a talk with the guys. What an awesome team you put together, especially when what Clint was referring to as Jeff's Watch or Jeff's Pirates Cove Rescue Team. So tell us more how it all started here for you.
When I first took over in 1979, I already knew that people had drowned out here frequently, and I started to think about how we could prevent it. And within the first year, we had a girl go out there named McLaughlin, and she got caught in the currents, and she was out there, and I could hear her. And I took some of the customers out there with a rope and a life ring, and we brought her back. Bad thing is she died 17 hours later from salt inhalation. So when you're out there, there's lots of things that could take you out. So after that, I tried to figure out different ways to prevent people from drowning, and I started with the kayaks because the kayaks give you stability. Single kayaks aren't good because the person that's drowning could knock you right out of them. So I started to use double kayaks with two men, and then I would put an extra double kayak on a rope behind them, so if they went to rescue people and there was more than one, they could fit them in the second kayak. So I did that for years and rescued quite a few people that way. And then as time went on and I watched the GFD response to things being so late, and sometimes bad decisions were made, and sometimes I was told by the authorities to stand back. And after I saw some rescuers even die because of the currents in the channel, I decided that I better do this myself before the local government even shows up. We bring them all back now.
So you have an awesome team. You put together an awesome team. Let's talk about how you got them involved at first.
Well, they're all like from islands like Kapingi Merengue and Chuk, and they're all water people. I call them water men, they know the water. So it was a matter of us studying the conditions, and the kayaks are a little bit more risky. And that's why I always have two guys in one kayak to give them double power. And many were rescued that way. But the jet skis, the new ones I have now, they are 1,500 cc. They are super powerful. you can put 3 people on one jet ski, including the driver, or actually if they're small, you could put more. And then you've got the sled that can have 2 people be pulled on the sled. So the new modern equipment, once the Cove became successful, I mean, the money people pay, they say, oh, Jeff, you're expensive. And I said, you're paying for a lot more than you think, because I have no help doing this. It's all my Pirates Cove money that pays for these rescues.
And these rescues, you're doing it for free. You guys are putting your lives out there every day, and just to do the right thing to save people.
Yeah, it's an altruistic thing. It's to give people back their lives. I mean, if you're out there drowning and I come bring you back, you're very grateful.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And wow, it's like a selfless thing what you guys do, and you guys do it every day, and you keep doing it.
Well, the thing is here, sometimes you won't have a rescue in a year, but then you might have 6 in 1 year. Or you might get a whole family of 4 that you bring in. It's so unpredictable what's going to happen. But we're always watching, we're always listening, because people, when they're drowning, they yell, help, help. And I can hear them. I've got very good hearing. And I go right to my binocular and assess the situation. With my binocular, I can look at their face and see how they're doing out there. The last fellow we rescued, he got caught up in the strings of his own kite, the sail. And he was in real sad shape. Another problem out there, you have these Portuguese man of war. And if they sting you, you get numb. Like we've pulled out one triathlon guy we pulled out of there. He had been stung all over by these jellyfish, they're not jellyfish, they're man of war. And Douglas pulled him right out of the water.
Wow. So, let's talk about before in closing here. What message would you tell the people who are making their way to Jeff's for the beach, or to see the restaurant, or even to go to get into the water? What message would you have for them?
Most of the people I've rescued don't come see me. They're not my customers. They're just victims of themselves. Fishermen that decide to go out there last week, say, oh, we'll all meet and go to fishing behind Jeff's or whatever, and they show up, and if the weather's bad, they're not aware of how bad it is, or the currents or anything else. I like to talk to everybody. If somebody wants to go swimming, I say, you got to talk to me. I'm going to show you a place where you can swim, and only, but you cannot go in the channel. The channel is very, very dangerous. This time of year, it's okay. You can go snorkeling, you could do almost anything out there, spearfishing, but during normal times of year, which is all but maybe, I would say there's 40 days a year that it's very safe. And all the other times there's currents, and even that you might not notice it, but that channel has like a current on the bottom that runs like 25 miles an hour all the time. And, people aren't aware of it. And then so I just would rather people not go in the water. And I would rather, like having the media tell them, hey, people drown there. Even when I made a sign, the government didn't want me to put on the sign that people drown here. And I said, no, I wanted people to know people drown here. Well, you might scare them. Well, good. That's what I want to scare them. I don't want them in the water. It's just too much. Nobody's powerful enough for Mother Nature. When it's ripping out there, it's bad.
So in closing again, I'd like to go, because I had a chance to talk with Douglas, Lornis, and Titus. So just pretty much just give us a rundown of your team, and then how do you see these guys perform on a daily basis, and stuff like that.
Well, Douglas has been SARS trained, the search and rescue, through different teachings, and he's very familiar with everything, and he's a gung-ho rescue guy. I mean, this guy, he's ready to go anytime. So that is very good. Hanson, same thing. Titus is the backup guy. He's my mechanic, he's my engineer, he keeps the machinery going. These jet skis, if you don't use them all the time, the battery goes dead, and I didn't buy those for recreation for me. I bought them to save people. And I have like tinkle charges I have to do, keep them running and keep everything in shape. Lornis, he just came on board last year, but he's been a very credible rescuer. He's ready to go. He worked at ABC. He knows the jet skis, and he can plow through those big waves and get to you. That's the thing. Immediate response. They got to be ready to go. I got them all complete equipment, everything they need to go out there, so that helps to having the safety involved. Winner is from Kapingi Marangi, just like Hanson Lowe. And those guys are very familiar with the water, and they're very, very strong. I mean, you cannot take them down out there. They will bring you back. They're all long-term employees, and they're all very, very into what they do for me. You know, they're very heart-giving people. They want to save you.
All right. Well, Jeff, thank you so much, and thank you and your team for all the awesome things you guys have done here, rescuing lives. That's something you don't see every day. You see, regular people just getting out there, putting their lives on the line, to save another and give another person, whoever is out there, a chance to live and breathe again. So that's a big thing. So thank you again, you and your team, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Wow. 3 words: true island heroes. And that pretty much concludes another edition of the One Micronesia Podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.